Mississauga has been called one of the most successful cities in Canada. 1 year ago, it was success that Darrell Sutherland had trained for and would achieve, leading all the way to win the Mississauga Marathon. Meanwhile, with 1 kilometer to go, Natalie Goyer would pass a surprise Jutta Maralainen to win and set a course record. Our champions are back as Canon presents the Mississauga Marathon on TSN. The 2007 Mississauga Marathon, brought to you by Canon Canada. The city of Mississauga, leading today for tomorrow. RBK, Run Easy. And Grandin Toy, performance-enhancing offices. Bright and early on a Sunday morning, there is nothing quite like being part of what is fast becoming one of the biggest and best marathons in Canada. And hi everyone, I'm Rod Black alongside Peter Fonseca. Welcome to the Mississauga Marathon. And Peter, it is amazing, absolutely amazing how far this race has come in 4 short years.
Well, Rod, because of great organization, great people, and fast times, a fast course, we've grown from the first year of just over 5,000 to this year we'll be breaking 10,000 in terms of participants.
The running gods have looked down on this race as well for the weather. It's another perfect day. What do you expect today?
Well, 4 years running, great weather, you're right, and what that does, it does bring those fast times. Last year we had a record. The men's record was broken at 2 hours and 31 minutes. This year, the top runners from all jurisdictions have heard about this, and they're here to break that record again.
The defending champion is back, and so too the biggest supporter of this race, the mayor herself, Hazel McCallion.
First of all, I want to thank all the volunteers. I'll tell you, this marathon would not be possible without the thousands of volunteers, right? Isn't that wonderful? People that are prepared to give of their time on behalf of everybody. Every year it's growing.
First elected in 1978, Hazel McCallion is a mainstay, a marathon politician. She's involved in all the weekend activities, including presiding over her own race, the Bayou Vale Hazel 5K, the night before the marathon.
So have a wonderful run, and I'm looking forward to the big one tomorrow. See you at the finish line, right?
I'm out with all my people, from the youngest to the oldest, because I just love people. And so it fits, I think it fits the way in which I operate as mayor in this city, and that everybody, all-inclusive. And this 5K run is all-inclusive.
4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody.
And of course, the numbers have increased considerably. I don't know what the count is this year, but it's gone up every year. So it shows how popular it is. And of course, you know, we envy the Boston Marathon, and we're aiming to be as good as the Boston Marathon. The weather's beautiful, and, you know, right here in the beautiful Mississauga, the route is exciting, interesting for the runners, which I think is important. And it's going to be a great success.
Moments away from the start of the Canon Mississauga Marathon, stretching, warming up, that's Darrell Sutherland, last year's men's champion. Jutta Maralainen might have been the women's champion if not for that last kick by Natalie Goyer. Very interesting time as we get ready for the journey ahead, Peter Fonseca.
Yeah, a lot of excitement and nervous energy in these runners as they make their way to the front. As you'll see, Rod, many of the runners will put themselves in position where they think they're going to finish at the end of the race. So the top runners definitely will go to the front, and then other people will also corral themselves the way they're doing based on how they will finish at the end of the race, be it 3 hours or 4 hours or 5 hours.
There's the defending men's champion, and right behind him, the defending women's champion. We are moments away from the start of the 4th annual Mississauga Marathon, presented by Canon. West of Toronto in the city of Mississauga, high above the start line at Square One. expecting upwards of 10,000 runners. The focus on Darrell Sutherland. Can he do it again? Last year, unheralded runner went wire to wire. Here's the route, Peter.
Yes, Rod. One of the great things about the Mississauga Marathon is it does start up at Square One at City Centre at a very high elevation and works its way down to the lake, which is a lower elevation. And we've seen this race grow and grow in terms of participants because they keep hearing about the very fast times, and this route allows for that.
And of course, not only marathoners, but half marathoners and also the corporate relay part of this race. Just over 26 miles, 42.2 kilometers. And here we are, ready for the start.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They're off.
Yeah, here we go. What is this like? You've been here before. You've done that. What does that feel like, especially for an elite runner?
Well, the excitement, the energy, you just want to take off and run as fast as you can. But what you have to do is remember it's a long way, the marathon route, and you have to contain that energy and be able to spread it over the entire race.
So many of the runners out on the course. And like last year, guess what Darrell Sutherland is doing? He's setting the pace again.
Right to the front. Darrell, as we know, last year went fire to wire, so he led the entire race, and he'd like to repeat that, I'm sure, this year.
We'll catch up with him in a moment, but now these are runners who will not be breaking the ribbon at the finish line, but for them, it's really their own little journey, their own odyssey, something that they want to put in their heads as a personal best, and for many of them, this is their first marathon.
Yeah, I have to say, Rod, everybody that completes a marathon, because it's really the common man's Everest, is a champion, is a winner. And what's great about marathon running is that it's really advanced with technology. On all these runners' shoes, they have what's called a chip, a champion chip. And that allows them, even though they started behind the start line, their time will only start once they cross that start line because of that technology.
The defending champion, Darrell Sutherland, you just saw him setting the pace. Those in pursuit now as they make their way down Burnhamthorpe Road. Great energy alongside, supporting the runners. And also setting the pace in the women's race. Jutta Meriläinen led wire to wire except for the last couple kilometers a year ago when she was passed unexpectedly by that woman, the defending champion, Natalie Goyer.
With 1 kilometer to go, I passed a girl and I didn't know she was the leader in the female. She asked me if I was in the full marathon or if I was a relay. And I said I was in the full marathon. So she tried to increase her speed, but I just kept my rhythm and I passed her. So some people, like the people say on the TV, it was a Cinderella story for me because it was a PB and it was, I was surprised to see the ribbon in front of me at the end.
Rod, great drama last year. I do not think Natalie will be surprising anybody this year.
No, they'll be watching for Natalie Goyer. Look out as well for Charlene Cobain from Toronto. She currently is running in third place. And just like last year, leading the women's race is Jutta Meriläinen. She's running with some of the half marathoners. You see them there wearing the black bibs, the marathoners wearing the red bibs. So Jutta in first place again. Well back, some of the runners again competing for personal bests or their first marathon. It took them 10 minutes to clear the start line today. So many runners on this gorgeous day. There are some of the men contenders, including Terry Gell, a runner-up last year to the eventual champion, Darrell Sutherland, who could not be caught. In fact, the only problem Darrell had a year ago was the finish line as he stumbled home with his first marathon win.
I'm pumped. I'm really excited. This is a great race, and I love the city. Last year I had about 7 weeks of marathon training, which is a bit suicidal, but it seemed to work that day. This year I've been able to keep on track without many serious injuries, and been able to train since last year in Mississauga. Everybody back home that from Peterborough has been really supportive, so I'm really hoping to kind of pull another big one for them.
Wouldn't that be something? 2 years in a row. Looking to make Peterborough proud, Darrell Sutherland.
And here's the chase pack that's after Darrell. And leading that chase pack is Predrag Maldanovic.
And leading the women's race. A year ago at the same time, Jutta Marilainen, you can bet that she'll be looking over her shoulder. And Darrell Sutherland, just like last year, also leading the men's race at the 4th Mississauga Marathon presented by Canon. Welcome back to the Mississauga Marathon presented by Canon on TSN. Many of the runners now making their way over the Credit River Bridge on this absolutely perfect day. Darrell Sutherland still leading the way. A year ago, coming off ankle surgery because of a dog bite of all things, and of course last year he was the top dog on the streets of Mississauga.
Well, here on the course, Rod, they just came out of the university. They're on the Mississauga Road. This is the steepest downhill section of this race, and Darrell is leading the pack, but that pack is really close.
A lot closer than last year. That dot represents where Darrell and that lead pack is right now. Just outside of the University of Toronto, you see that the half marathoners will soon make their way to the lakeshore and the finish line. Jutta Marilainen looking strong again.
She's looking really smooth.
And behind her, Natalie Goyer, 30 seconds back. And way back, many of the 10,000 runners, all part of what has become a must-see, must-participate event.
We've been fortunate enough to experience a significant amount of growth in the last 4 years, and that's only a short amount of time. And obviously a good chunk of that credit goes to the runners who continue to support our event and continue to spread the word about our event, but also our corporate sponsors. We've got a long list of sponsors, and obviously to put an event on of this magnitude, it requires a significant amount of corporate sponsorship and commitment. It goes to show you that if you put on an event that's of significant value, Corporate Canada will see that value and will continue to support you and come to the table.
We've always prided ourselves in Mississauga. This is a run for everyone. We still want to, and we do try, and this year we're going to have a few excellent runners at the race. But our biggest hope is that we attract the huge body of runners that are there, and that we also have a very competitive course.
Traditionally, Canon Canada, as one of the most valuable brands in the world, we want to partner with like organizations. The Mississauga Marathon is certainly one of those best of category events that we want to be a part of. We knew it was going to be an excellent event run by an excellent organization and in an excellent location, one of the largest cities in Canada. So we were all for it.
Jutta Marilainen continuing to lead the women's race. Beside her, one of the half marathoners in the black race bib. And behind Jutta, Peter, once again, Natalie Goyer, the hunter.
Yeah, we've got great drama once again in the women's race this year. And like I've always said, it's better to be in the hunter position than in the hunted. Here we have Charlene Cobain, who is running third right now in the women's race, and she is also hunting down Jutta.
Joanne Bink in black from Waterloo, hoping to finish under 3:03. Darrell Sutherland makes his way uphill just past the 10K point.
And we could see it's uphill because he's really pumping those arms, and you have to use your upper body to get up the hill the best you can.
Predrag Maldanovic, second place right now. Terry Gell over his shoulder. Pierre-Luc Goulet of Quebec takes some water. He's in fourth. And in fifth right now, Anthony Mongi. Before this race, he phoned Joe Hewitt, the race director, offered to run as a pacer. He told Joe he could run it in 2:30, and Joe said, forget setting the pace, you could win this thing. This race marks a new beginning for Anthony.
Well, I grew up in Nairobi. I was born in Nairobi 36 odd years ago. and we're 6 children. I came in at the end of September of 2004, and I stayed on from then. Canada has been good to me, and that's actually why I felt like, you know, if I could give something back, and the skills that I have right now is running. So that's why I kind of volunteered to set the pace.